to the Action Campaign's video series explaining the legislative provisions of the Affordable Housing Credit Improvement Act of 2021. In this video, Jennifer and I will discuss how the legislation would better coordinate the housing credit with tenant-based housing choice vouchers. One of the goals of the Affordable Housing Credit Improvement Act has been to make the credit a better tool for reaching extremely low-income tenants. But some of those households also get rental aid under HUD's Housing Choice Voucher Program. Jennifer, can you explain how the housing credit and the voucher programs are complementary and how this bill seeks to mitigate duplication of benefits between these programs?
I'd be happy to, Ariane. Demand-side programs such as housing choice vouchers and supply-side programs like housing credit play different and complementary roles in meeting affordable housing needs. The fact is, we need more supply of affordable housing, or rents will just go up with increased demand. But there's only so much we can do to reduce debt on a property, and there will always be other operating costs, so cash flow is critical. Extremely low income or ELI tenants sometimes can't afford to pay even reduced rents, so they need rental assistance like a voucher. These programs work extremely well together.
What happens when the payment standard for a voucher is higher than the housing credit rent?
Current law allows owners to collect the full value of a housing choice voucher if a tenant with a voucher rents an apartment in a housing credit property, even if the value of the voucher exceeds the housing credit rent limit for the tenant's unit. The additional rental income is typically used to offset operating expenses, provide services for residents, or make capital improvements on the property.
But what happens if you have a property that takes advantage of the basis boost for ELI households that we are trying to enact as a part of AHCIA? Wouldn't the rents on the units that would be getting the basis boost already be low enough to be affordable to extremely low-income tenants? It seems like it would be better if we could serve more low-income families with vouchers rather than letting the housing credit owner take advantage of both basis boost and the full value of the voucher.
That's exactly right. That's why AHCIA would limit the rent charged in certain circumstances to the housing credit maximum rent, even if the payment standard is higher. The two circumstances in which this would be the case are: one, if the owner got the 50% ELI basis boost, and two, if the property is an average income test property.
Jennifer, can you remind us what the average income test is?
Sure. In 2018, Congress passed a provision that had been included in the Affordable Housing Credit Improvement Act called the average income test, or income averaging. Income averaging allows properties to serve households earning up to 80% of area median income, so long as the low-income units on average still have an income designation of no more than 60%. That means to have units at 70 or 80% of AMI, owners also need to have some units that are designated at lower levels to hit that average. It's one of the ways that we can better serve very low and extremely low-income households.
You've talked about vouchers, which are tenant-based rental assistance, but does this apply to project-based rental assistance?
No, it does not. With tenant-based rental assistance, owners and states aren't factoring the availability of vouchers into their thinking when it comes to underwriting the property, because we just don't know whether a voucher holder will apply to live in the property or not. When a property has project-based assistance, however, a project-based assistance contract, that matters for underwriting. So this provision does not apply to project-based assistance.
And what section of the bill is this provision in?
It's in Section 204.
Thanks, Jennifer. For more on our video series, visit the Action Campaign's website at www.rentalhousingaction.org.